Welcome to the 9/8 Central podcast, where we talk about growing a business, working in media, and building a team we love. I'm Jen Blair, COO here at 9/8 Central, and today I'm joined by Kyle Jewell, our social strategist.
Hey, Jen.
Hey. And Danielle Gibney, our first ever 9/8 Central intern.
Hey, guys.
Welcome to the show, y'all. So today we are talking about how different generations use social media. So we have 3 different generations pretty much. So I am 35. I'm firmly a millennial. Kyle, you are a fresh 27, so you are like on that cusp.
I'm on the cusp. They keep moving the date year. So I was born in 95, which 5 years ago made me a millennial, but now it makes me Gen Z.
Yeah, so you're on the cusp. You're in the middle. And then Danielle, you are firmly Gen Z.
Yes,
you
I'm
are
22.
22. Okay, great. Yeah, so we got like a nice little balance between ages. And so we want to talk about, like, from our experiences, how we use and approach social media. So for me, I'm not going to get into MySpace. I feel like that was ancient history, like pre-social media in a way. But I always think about Facebook as kind of the thing that started it. So Facebook, I remember when it was like 2004, I was a freshman in college. It was 3:00 in the morning and the fire alarm was going off in the dorm building and everybody was outside waiting for that to stop. And there was a group of girls that were sitting there talking about, like, remember the Facebook groups you could join? You might not. And this is going to be interesting. So back when Facebook first started, there were just pointless little groups that people would make. And one of them was like, all's fair in love, war, and laundry, and like stuff like that. And you
like
would just
crunching on a stepping on a crunchy leaf.
Yes,
group.
literally,
Yeah,
that's all it was.
I distinctly remember that
yes,
one.
and so people were talking about it. I'm like, what is this thing? And it turns out it was Facebook. And my college was one of the very first to join Facebook, like, outside of, what was it? Where did Mark Zuckerberg start this? Stanford, wherever he was.
Yeah.
So that's where it all began. And I mean, things have changed so much since then, right?
Yeah.
So now we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram, we've got LinkedIn and TikTok. So I think that those are the 5 that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And I think those are kind of the big names going on today, right? So Kyle, where were you when you started your Facebook page? How old were you?
I think I was I first started on MySpace, which I know we weren't going to talk about because it's not around anymore. But I think for a lot of people my age, like, that's how we got our start.
Oh, so it's important
social.
to you. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And it wasn't. I think I started one, and didn't ask my parents if I could have one, and then they found out I had one, and that was good. That was like the first time my parents had to talk to me about, like, hey, the internet. There are things on there.
It will live forever and haunt you. I want to say, boomers, please remember that. What you told us. Remember, it lives forever.
It does, yes. You can delete that post, Karen, but it'll still live in our memories forever. So MySpace, soonly after, I think it just kind of fizzled out.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook had, like, more features. You could see more of your family on Facebook. So I think it was in 7th or 8th grade, so 2007 or 2008,
when
I started my Facebook page. And yeah. What about you, Danielle?
So I was in 4th grade when I got my Facebook page. I think the reason why is just because, like, all my friends were sort of getting into it. So, like, I have 2 older sisters. They're 26 and 24 now. So they were starting to get it. And then, like, my age was like, should we? And then it was like, well, we're just going to be friends with each other and, like, post things on each other's wall for fun. And then, like, my grandma was like, well, now I can, like, ask, like, chat with you and, like, all that stuff. So that's, like, my introduction. And then, like, the first big thing was Instagram. And I got that when I was, like, 12, I think.
Okay.
It was, like, right before I got my iPhone, my first phone. I got my phone when I was 12. So I guess I got it at, like, 11, but it was 2012? I don't know. But I got Instagram and then Twitter shortly after. And Instagram was, like, post anything that's even in front of you. Yeah. And then Twitter, that was, like, what I kind of spent all my time on. But, like, Instagram just became, like, the thing that was, like, you just
So you lied to Facebook about your age.
Oh, totally.
I was going to say, isn't that like against terms of service?
That's disgusting.
I think it still has me as like 5 years older than I am. Whatever the age was, like it's still set on my Facebook as like I'm so much older.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's funny that you mentioned Instagram and like you just used to post anything in front of you. Like I think my first Instagram post is like of an azalea bush in my backyard in my house.
Yeah.
Is it like a crazy filter?
Yes,
too?
it's the dumbest filter ever. Yeah. and it's just so crazy to me to see how things have evolved with Instagram over the year, which I think is probably a different topic. But Instagram, I remember I was at I started that when I was working for an engineering firm in Pittsburgh, and like it just became a thing. It used to be iPhone only. Were you in there when it was iPhone only, or could anybody use
Well,
it?
I had it on my iPod Touch.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
First.
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, and then so I think I got it like literally like a few days before my birthday. So I had it on my iPod Touch, and then I was getting my phone on my birthday. So then I switched over
Okay.
to that. But yeah.
Yeah. And so then Twitter, you mentioned Twitter too. I was such a late adopter for Twitter. You, Kyle, taught me how to use Twitter
Yes, I'm very
when we
proud-
worked together in
proud
a
of that.
previous life. Yeah. And he had to teach me how to use Twitter, which was super fun. But
Wow.
I know you're a big Twitter fan.
I love Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, that's kind of my go-to. I don't know. I love the speed of it. I love that it's kind of timely. You can kind of absorb. I guess for me, it's about efficiency. I can absorb a ton of information in a lot less time.
Yeah.
So that's really it.
Yeah. So then, okay, where do you spend the most time on social media?
For me, it's definitely Twitter.
Really?
It's always been, yeah.
Interesting.
It's
So-
always been Twitter.
Okay. And so I know this off camera, but you are not on TikTok a
No.
lot, which is
Yeah.
kind of unusual. Like, are all your friends on TikTok?
Yeah, all my friends are on TikTok. Most of the like references and things like quotes like that people say and like the zeitgeist are like from TikTok.
Wait, hold on. The what?
Like zeitgeist, like just what people are talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
okay. I thought that was like a
Sorry.
thing and
No.
not like using
That's
the
just a
actual,
word.
like what the word means.
So like it's Twitter and TikTok, but I feel like right now it's a lot of TikTok stuff. So I like still hear it, but I used to be on it like all day, every day. But that was the problem. I think like a lot of people have this like love-hate relationship where
Yes.
it's like I'm on it all the time, I'm learning these things, or I'm just like getting these jokes and like being entertained, but then you're on it for so long. It's
Yeah.
so much information. And like I found that when I was off of it, I was more present in daily life and not so
Interesting.
caught because
Yeah.
you can get really caught up in
Yeah.
what you're watching.
Were you? Did you find yourself getting caught up in like consuming or creating? Did you?
Oh,
create a lot?
consuming. No,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I would do things here and there, but it was like more so for myself, like just putting videos together that I had so that I can like send it to my mom and be like, hey, like, I
Yeah.
edited. Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't ever try to go viral or anything.
Right.
If I did anything, it was like, oh, this is a good tool to like put these clips together from like the semester that I have
Mhm.
or something like that.
So what did you find yourself consuming? Was it more of the entertainment or was it more educational? Like what did you?
It was kind of a mixture. I had like I was on like a lot of like recipe TikTok for a little bit. That's like good, I feel like. But then it was a lot of like celebrity news. Like I'm really into like pop culture news and all
Mhm.
that stuff. But like I'm like a huge Taylor Swift fan. I'm on like Taylor Swift like fan Twitter, which is like can get crazy, but on TikTok it was like people were literally dissecting at all of these things. I was like, people need to like
Really?
go like
The red
Wait.
scarf.
yeah,
stuff
like
that.
yeah,
really?
like people just go in and they're like, I have this theory, and they go so in detail, and it's like, please go outside, like read a book. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
It
And like,
used to be reserved for YouTube in like
Yeah.
5-hour long.
Yes, that's what I know that for.
Yeah.
It's
That
like
you-
Marvel, like, let's go and analyze the last Marvel movie
Mhm.
and figure out like what's going to happen in the next one kind of stuff.
which I love, but I like to like seek it out rather than being bombarded by like
Yeah.
all of this like detailed
Interesting.
information that I would rather just kind of not pay
yeah.
attention to.
I have one more question for you. But so Danielle, obviously you've joined us because you love video production. TikTok being able to edit within an app, like kind of high quality just from your phone, did that kind of feed your love for production?
Yes and no. I just like I'm not like I don't want to. I'm not like self-deprecating in this way, but I don't want to make my own content. I'd rather facilitate somebody else's. So if you guys or if somebody else was like, hey, can you edit a TikTok for me? I'd be like, sure. Like, give me the content and I'll edit it for you. But I didn't have any desire to be like, oh, like this is what I'm doing
Be a
today.
creator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
That's not my.
I get that. And it just feels like especially if it's you and not like for a client, like we're so used to doing it for clients,
Mhm.
if there's a level
Mhm.
of detachment there. But if it's like for yourself, then that's
Mhm.
weird.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's might be like a social media manager thing.
Yeah.
I mean, my profiles are not active, but I'm on them all the time. I
Yeah.
just don't want to
You just
make
don't
things
post.
for myself.
Yeah, I
really.
get it. So then you're on Twitter all the time too. So what do you find on Twitter?
So, like I said, like a lot of pop culture news.
Yeah.
I think like there's so much funny stuff on Twitter. I used to be on Vine back in the day when that was a thing
RP.
too. And I feel like a lot of the people that I liked on Vine are like popular on Twitter now, or maybe not so popular, but like I feel like
you told me that though.
Yeah,
I remember
no,
you
yeah.
told that was in my intro to Twitter from Kyle.
And also I feel like a lot of people like tweet this too. They're like, Instagram, you're pretending to be something. Twitter, everyone knows you're a mess. So on Twitter, no one's hiding, or at least the people I follow. Like, I don't like seeing tweets that are like perfect punctuation and like I don't know, like politicians' tweets. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in not like for news purposes, sure, but like I'm interested in like seeing people just be honest and real and be like, or just like be talking about like I watch Euphoria, but I watch it more so for like being able to understand the memes that come afterwards, and how funny people can be and how ridiculous, and it just like it's like sometimes social media can be distracting in a bad way, but I feel like Twitter, it gives me this like escape in a good way where it's like, this is so ridiculous. Like I can get back to like work and school and whatever later, but like for a second I just want to see something so stupid.
Yeah.
You know?
It's really funny that you mentioned about like you don't want to see the perfect tweets, because I mean I'm a writer. I have an English degree. Like I have most of my master's in English. Let's not go there. But like I love language. I'm super stickler for punctuation, but you put me on Twitter, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just all goes out the window. And I don't know. It's
I think
weird.
that's kind of the beauty of it though, is that there's
absolutely.
you don't have to be refined, and it's taking a language first approach to like humor too.
Yes.
So like you can go on TikTok and you could find like the funny video, just like situational, awkward trends, whatever. You can go on Instagram, you can find like beautiful landscapes, scenery. Reels is, I think it's still kind of taking some time to catch on. But Twitter, it's just like, you know, whatever's on your mind, you can put it out there. And the humor kind of still translates regardless of like misspellings or like if your punctuation's wrong. And
sometimes the punctuation like works because you have to read it a certain way. So like, they're like ellipses or like stuff like that. Like it adds so much, or spelling things a certain way that's wrong adds to it.
Actually, you know what? Sorry, this is the writer brain coming, but like if you want to study in voice, go to Twitter. Just read tweets and like figure out how voice works.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. There we go. So where do you spend your time, Kyle?
Okay, so Twitter's definitely my favorite, but in terms of like time consumption, I use it quickly. So it's not, I'm not on it all the time.
You just go in and like,
but it's a really quick, like I can kind of soak in all the information that's on there. In terms of time, we have a few clients that are on TikTok, and I had never been on TikTok until I started here. So I wanted to like get to know the platform, try to figure out the trends. So I did join TikTok to kind of understand it, and once it figured out what I wanted, it just sucked me in. There's just so much interesting. I don't know. There's so many creators too, and it's one of those. It just made video editing like super accessible. So like now everyone can be a comedian. Everyone can be like make some dramatic. Everyone can be a dancer, which is maybe unfortunate. But so in terms of just raw time, TikTok probably takes up most of my time when I'm consuming. Which is interesting.
I'm actually really shocked with that.
If you had asked me a month ago, it would have been different.
What would have been?
Probably would have been Twitter.
Yeah. So do you think that because you work in social media, it has changed how you would naturally use?
Yeah. So it's kind of it's an interesting answer. It's just a product of my circumstance, but that's kind of like when I want to be entertained, or if I'm like trying to kill 15 minutes, I'm like, oh, that's like 5 TikToks right there.
Right.
So,
Yeah. For me, I'm on Instagram more than anything, I think, and LinkedIn more than I ever had been before. But like, I don't know, like I love Instagram, and I just love that like you can kind of see tiny moments of people's lives. Like I love looking through stories and just scrolling through that. And I love seeing what brands are doing. I love seeing new products. Like I am a sucker for an Instagram ad. Like I have bought so much stuff off of Instagram. It's really embarrassing, but I don't know. So like, I think I just kind of go to, it's almost like watching TV for me. You know, I just want to go and just kind of like, just see what's out there, see what people are up to. What are they going to sell me? You show me a picture of somebody packing like a purse or a bag, I will probably buy it. I don't know. So
that's really
isn't
interesting.
It weird? Yeah.
Have you ever bought anything from an ad you saw on social?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and I honestly, I used to like dislike the targeted ads, but like when I'm looking for something specific and I'm on like boutique websites, or I'm on like a specific like website for something and then it gives me more, I'm like, okay, I actually needed this, which I like hate to admit, but sometimes it is nice. And yes, I like
behind that is a very smart marketer and a pixel.
Yes. Yeah. So it's funny because I actually really love the targeted ads, but I hate influencer campaigns. And once you can start to see the wave of them and like which brands are pushing because they all seem to target the same kind of people, that's when I'm like, meh, Yeah. But at least they all have coupon codes. So I just go and find a coupon code and I buy the thing, but whatever.
Okay, so Instagram ads work for you.
Yeah.
Where have you been hit with ads that you've actually bought something, like on which platform?
Instagram, totally. I don't even know like Twitter's promotion. It's weird on there.
Stupid.
I get a lot of like go see this movie and I'm like, oh, I was gonna see it anyway, but or I was never gonna see. Like I that's like kind of what I get on there. Yeah. But on Instagram, it's usually clothes and like specific things. Like I'm looking for bathing suits, and it's like right now it's like spring break, it's like all bathing suits, and I'm like, good, because I need those discounts. Like,
And it's so interesting. Like, I mean, Twitter from an ad manager perspective is clunky. It's not fun to use. It's better than LinkedIn's.
Oh my gosh.
It's much better. Let's not talk about LinkedIn ad manager. Well, I mean, if you need LinkedIn ads, we're happy to run them for you.
Yes, and if you need some feedback, we have plenty.
So let's see. So we talked about ads. We talked about kind of like how we use it and where we spend our time. And so I think one thing that would be interesting to do, describe each social media platform in one word. Okay. So Danielle, Facebook.
Political.
Okay. I agree. That's why I stay off of it sometimes. Kyle.
Old.
Okay. I was going to say geriatric. So I think we're on the same. Like Facebook is just, it's the hoi polloi of social media.
Obsolete.
You can also say,
that's a good one too.
That's a good one. Wild Wild West, maybe?
Yeah.
I mean,
so actually, I want to obsolete might be not the best because it is still effective, particularly from groups and advertising.
Well, yeah. And I mean, if you want to get technical, like the use of WhatsApp and Instagram under the Meta umbrella too makes it then the most used platform by tens of millions. So
okay, Instagram.
Fun.
Okay.
I might take that back, but go ahead. I don't know. It's the first thing I thought of. I wanted to be quick.
I'd say pretty.
Yeah. I mean,
aesthetic.
Entertaining. Yeah, because like I go back to just like using it like TV. That's my TV. I don't know. Entertaining. So okay. Twitter.
Wild. That to me is Wild Wild West.
I'm gonna say goat. That's my greatest of all time. It's the best.
I'm gonna say news.
Also funny.
Yeah, funny. News, like I love to go and see what's trending and just kind of know what I should be paying attention to.
Yeah, it's kind of a melting pot. You can kind of get like a little bit of everything.
It's very I feel like TikTok is obviously everyone sort of associates it with that algorithm where it's very personalized, but sometimes you get things that you're like, I didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
Even then. But on Twitter, I feel like you can genuinely personalize it and not see things you don't want to see.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm at that point where like I go on it because I know it's only going to be what I want to see.
Yeah. Okay. LinkedIn.
Nice. I don't know.
So you're on it a lot.
It's like, it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything more descriptive than professional.
Yeah, same.
Jobs. I don't know.
Yeah.
Functional.
I mean, it is a good place to network. I've been getting like better at just kind of like reaching out to people and like if I have a meeting, just connecting with them afterwards.
Yeah.
So
for purposes of what we do here, LinkedIn is really cool to see what other companies are doing and what they feel is worthy of putting on LinkedIn. So that's been just for personal development. It's been interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then TikTok.
A lot.
Yeah, I don't. I can't summarize TikTok in one word.
Say overwhelming.
Yes. Yes.
I'd say nonstop.
Nonstop. Yes. And yeah, it's just it's an interesting. But there's so much that you can find there. So at any rate, okay. So takeaways from this: what can we say about what we think about generations using social media? It's interesting that we've all kind of like came at it from a different place, but ultimately it feels like we're all kind of there for entertainment and we're all there to kind of keep a pulse on what's happening in the world.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say, first of all, we're all there.
Everybody's there.
If you want to reach people, they're on social. You can kind of, this was really fun to see like where you as a Gen Zer, Danielle, where you end up the most. versus Gen millennial where you end up, and I'm kind of I'm physically in the line
literally.
between generations and with the platform usage.
It's
I'm
so
kind of
interesting.
on the line too. So.
I could talk about it forever.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I could go forever. But yeah. So, okay. Before we wrap up, Danielle, what are you digging this week?
I already mentioned it, but I was gonna say Euphoria because I mean I do like the show a lot. There's things that like I don't love, and I don't think it's like it's not my favorite show in the world, but I love going on Twitter and like being part of the conversation. Like I felt that with Game of Thrones. I felt that way with like WandaVision.
Okay.
And I love having that like, okay, on Sunday nights, everyone on my timeline is watching it and like people are live tweeting it, and I love to like see that stuff. So definitely that show and conversation around it.
I need to watch that show.
It's a lot.
Because I see the memes and it cracks me up.
It's like,
yeah.
There's a lot of criticism that you can make, but it's also like whatever.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
It's on our watch list at home.
Nice.
The next thing to dive into.
Kyle, what are you digging?
I'm digging another HBO show.
Oh, man.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. I just wanted something really easy to watch.
Okay.
But it's I think it's a masterpiece.
Okay.
In writing.
Okay.
It's so simple.
Really?
It follows a really basic formula. I think I can relate to character a lot. It's just a fun watch.
Okay. Maybe I'll check it out. Yeah. Okay. So for me, I am digging something that I bought from a social media ad that also has an annoying influencer campaign currently running, but it's called Water Drop. And it's like these tiny little things that you drop in water.
I haven't heard of that.
Okay.
What
yeah,
is
and it
I don't know.
really? Oh man. Yeah, it just like it like flavors water without like I don't know, without carbonation, without calories, without sugar, all that kind of stuff.
Is it like the Mio?
No, it doesn't taste like that at all. Those are disgusting. Don't
super sugary.
Yeah, I won't drink those. Well, they also taste like fake sugar. But no, these taste almost like herby and more they're just more enjoyable. They're a lot more subtle.
What's your favorite flavor?
Yeah.
So the one I had yesterday, they have like super cheesy names, but the one it's called Youth, and it tasted. I know it's so weird, but it was. I don't even know how to describe how it tasted. It was just like really.
Youth?
Okay.
It tasted like Youth.
So let's break this down.
It made me feel like I was 18.
It's named Youth, and they targeted it to a millennial. So that's kind of where.
Well,
we are.
okay. Other names include Zen and. Honestly, I don't know. I don't remember what the other ones are, but they're all. Oh, Love is another one. They're all like very hippy dippy stuff. But yeah. Anyway,
that's interesting.
So cool. Well, this was awesome, guys. Hopefully we can do a part 2 at some point too and talk more about it. But if anybody out there is interested in social media, talking about social media, what is trending, we are here to help you, and we would love to get that conversation started with you. So check us out at 98c.org or follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, all the things that you can find us. And we hope that you tune in next time to listen. Thanks so much. Growing a business, working in media, and building a team we love. Oh, David, you did mess up the intro. Did I? You did. Welcome to the 98 Central podcast, where we talk about growing a business.
Working in media.
Welcome to my life.